I am going to load up and see if the program first starts. That is the first test. It starts. Now I'm going to move around. It is moving around. The first test has been done. The second test is zooming out the camera. It zooms out and zooms in perfectly fine. Now I am going to see if every piece of UI is interactable, starting from the top left, clicking every checkbox, moving every counter, pressing all the buttons. Everything seems to be working fine, and let's see if level generates. Yep, the button works. And that's it for test number 1, 2, 3. And that is going to be the first video. This is test video number 2, which includes test number 4 and 5. The first test is to see if everything works at the minimum possible value on the sliders and the maximum possible value on the sliders. I am going to build and run my game fresh. It all loads up, and now everything by default is at 0, and it seems to be working completely fine. Now I'm going to move everything to the maximum possible value, zoom out to see that nothing is being built as it should, and then generate. Took a bit of time, but now we have a massive level that is off the screen even if we do zoom out, which means everything does work at a maximum and minimum possible value. Now I'm going to see if coins work at the maximum value. This is test number 5. I am not finding coins, possibly because the room is too big, so now I'm going to lower it and see if the coins do work. Speed is a bit odd because sometimes you can't move out, so I'm going to move that. Now I see that no coins are being spawned. Now this is because I have not enabled the settings of allow spawning in bronze, silver and gold coins. So that means even if I change the rarity slider, no coins should be spawning, no matter the size. And now I'm going to enable it and see that on lower rarities, coins do indeed spawn. We have 2 gold coins right here. There's another coin right up there, another coin down here, another coin to the left, another coin to the right. That means coins do indeed spawn. Now at the maximum possible rarity, coins spawn rarely. We have a lot of bronze coins so far. We have not seen any silver. That means the program does indeed work, right? Everything is working as intended. This is video number 3, and this contains tests number 6, 7 and 8. The first test is to see if collision is in the game. I'm going to increase walk speed here and then run into every facing side of the walls, and I'm going to increase speed to see if physics would work even at like maximum velocities where things usually should break, and everything should be fine. I can spam the keyboard in every direction and I am perfectly colliding and not going out. Sometimes you see that the character overlaps the walls, but I added that as a precaution so the player doesn't get stuck when spawning on top of a block that is a wall block. And now the second test is to see if the settings changes, which is underneath the slider changes, also affect the generation. So I'm going to turn them on all at once, then off one by one, then on one by one, so you can see the changes that are happening. I also did allow the bias of a corridor to be changed. What if you turn on the allow the bias of the walk direction to change? What it does is it allows you to change which direction you are biased towards when the first walk iteration starts, because each walk iteration changes the bias if you allow bias to happen at all in the walk direction. If you turn it off, it will only move in one direction. As you can see on screen, it only moves in one direction and it doesn't change, and it stays the same for all the rooms. And so that means that the setting does actually work as intended. If you turn it on, then the generation just works biased as normal. What bias does is it makes it less uniform and more round. So now what we have is I'm going to be testing, are coins allowed to be picked up and touched? So we're going to be moving and finding a coin, and I think I've made this a little too rare, so let me decrease the rarity of the coins, which would make it more often spawn. There we go. Now I have touched a gold coin and that increased its value by 20. So now I'm off to find a bronze coin. That should increase it by 1. As you can see, now we have 21. Next is we should find a silver coin. There it is, and that increases the value by now this works. That is the end of the final test video number 3.